Hello, people. So what's that there? YouTube webcam. Aussie, Aussie. Hello. Hello, everybody. It's been a while, but I've just come on here and it says here, Hangouts will be discontinued on the 1st of August. And there's a new thing, YouTube webcam. Don't know anything about it. Not been on it, but hey, everybody. Did you miss me? Just a quick one out. There's a tank looking sweet as a pie. Everything's been going well. I just couldn't be asked doing anything. So, are we all doing? Bit of the old Reef community worldwide t-shirt coming on here. I've had a lot of people messaging me saying do a live stream, so I thought I'd do it for a live stream. But hello everyone. Hope you're all well. I'll see if I can get a link in, get some people chatting, see how we go. If it goes well, I'll do more. If not, you won't see me for a while again. I'm good at this stuff. So let's see if I can get some chat going. Not been so long, I can't remember how to do this, so bear with me. Invite people. Now, let's try this one first. So, try that one. If that don't work, we'll try some else. So, let's try a short link. Let's try. Let's try this one too. Let's try that one. See if that one works. And try one more. See if that one works. Right, 3 different links there. Don't know which one will work. Let's have a bash at that, see which one goes. What I might do after this is finished, I'm going to go try that YouTube webcam. So let's see how that goes. Your nitrates are at 40, so I went for a bio pellet reactor. David, my nitrates are at 50, and I couldn't give 2 shits about them. Stop reading your nitrates. I'm running the same as you. I'm running a bio pellet reactor at the minute. Don't worry about your nitrates. They will not kill your coral or your fish. So as long as your phosphates are in the same, like, are raised with them, you shouldn't have a problem. Oh yeah. Stop reading numbers on nitrates. That's the one thing I think people panic too much about is nitrates. There's no proof that nitrates kills corals or fish. And if you can find any, send it me, because there is none. So there we go. So see, the thing is, right, this is where you got your balance. Someone needs to jump in, because I hate talking to myself, as people know. Right. The thing is, if you've got a mixed reef, you can't have ultra low nitrates or phosphates, because your softies don't like ultra low. Your SPS like it low, but not ultra low. You know what I mean? So I won't worry about it. Don't worry about it too much. If you start running a bio pellet reactor, remember that does your nitrates, doesn't do your phosphates. Just make sure you keep your phosphates under control as they start to drop. If your phosphates are too low, your nitrates won't drop either. So you need to have a bit of a higher nitrates. Someone needs to jump in with me, or I'm going home, even though I'm at home. Shall I give you a run around my tank? It's a bit dark. Links don't work. Don't know how to do it then, do I? Let me try something else. I don't know. If someone knows how to do it, tell me. I've been like, it's been so long. Right, let's have a look. Let's show you. Let's show you out the tank. Right, in fact, I'll put a clip on and also. I'll try the. What colour is that? It's orange. That's orange. I'll put the yellow one on. See, one of each. One yellow. Let's try this. Ooh. Is that looking? Let's try the orange. Let's try the orange one. Oh. Camera shit on the computer. Everything's going well. Even SPRV, they're like SPRV growing like mad. So these always need to die with fire. It's overtaking the system. So, I'm not turning the light up. I don't do what other people do. My lights stay at a certain thing, right? And I'm not turning the things. So if anyone wants me to turn the lights on, don't worry that. I've never ever messed with a tank, so. Right, so this is here. So we've got the clarity, we've got the BRS reactor here. The BRS reactor is going in here. Got the behind here, I've got the oat mixer. Behind here, I've got the what's that, Nick? What's that called?
What's what? What is it?
What reactor have I got now? Ultra Reef reactor.
Ultra Reef.
Yeah, so I've got the Ultra Reef reactor behind the skimmer here. And this is a Royal exclusive skimmer. So here, so at the minute I've got the Clarity, bio pellet reactor, Ultra Reef reactor, Royal exclusive skimmer, and I've got the Ecotech. Is it the Vertec? Is it? That it's called? Return pump. Vertec, yeah.
You got some nice kit on there going on, Mr. Williams.
Oh, it's the way I roll. I've got two Neros. So I run two Neros.
Two Neros.
I've got two Reddings. I do want to put, even like this system now is only 3.5, but I think, you see, like, yeah, while it's dark, you can actually see, I've got like two spotlights here. I reckon I need one here. You see that, Nick, there?
Yeah.
But like I said, that's just at the top of the net. When it's, but bearing in mind, I've got nothing here, coral-wise. So as soon as it's hitting it, but I reckon if I have a third light in the middle,
yeah,
it'll be sweet.
What have you got to the ends of your scope though? Why don't you put the lights further together and have you drop off on the ends where you haven't got your coral on either side?
Yeah, I just think
is that going to mess with your? Is that going to mess with your OCD?
It will do, yeah.
Fair enough.
As people know, when it comes to this, I do have OCD. It's got to be clean all the time. Right. Oh, right. And what people need to know about the system and all, the system is always clean. I never clean it. It cleans itself. So the sand's always white. The rocks are always algae-free. Ish. I said ish. Because what did I do? I changed my light settings. And I had a tiny little bit starting to grow on the bottom. So that changed and went back to normal. I could tell and all because the glass was getting like a coating on it. As soon as I changed the lights back, crystal clear.
What's your growth been like?
It's not that bad. Look at that glass there. So you can just see the reflection perfectly through. You know what I mean? And that's not been cleaned in a few days, so it just shows you how crystal clean the glass is.
Yeah. You're not running ozone or anything else either, right?
No, and I've not done a water change ever.
Have you ever run ozone on there?
No.
Oh, that could be interesting.
No, never.
You ought to try that and see the difference that the ozone will make.
What I do need to do, I do need to get like a self-cleaning sump. Really testing it. The reason is because I've got the Clarity. The Clarity stops all the flow in like the front section of the sump.
Ah, right.
Slows it down, and you just get like the trickle of water coming through because it's cleaning constantly. And caught in there. So everyone assumes that the Clarity catches all the crap, and it doesn't work like that. Because if you think it's there, it's full of crap, like at the sides and at the bottom, that water's flushing through, so you're getting the small particles going through, and you get like a silt, on the sump, like in the bottom of the sump, and that travels to the next one and then to the next one. So you end up with like a silt through the sump. So if I've got something,
okay,
I could do. Do you know what? I most probably could get away with them tiny little pumps you can buy, a couple of dollars or a couple of pounds wherever you are. Stick one of them in each sump. They're only USB power.
Wave maker. Yeah, a little power head wave maker. Stick that on the bottom, blowing in the opposite direction to your sump flow.
Yeah,
and that'll keep it suspended in your sump.
There is no sump flow. That's the problem. I know you. I said there's no. Obviously, sump bucket's moving across. But there's no. If you look in that first section, if I put something, it's just crystal. Like it's like there's no movement. It's so slow the movement. And I'm running the S1, which is the smallest pump that Ecotech does. This, with the sump, is over 400 litres, Nick, yeah?
Right.
And I'm running it at 30%, the smallest pump. Because I want a lot of contact time with a filter sock. It's taking more of the crap out. Do you know what I mean? So I'm running, a lot of people assume that you've got to have 10 times turnover. I'm running about 3 times turnover.
Oh, sorry.
Do you know what I mean?
That's loud. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you though, like, do you know why we get the 3 times turnover to 5 times turnover and the 10 times turnover? Do you know where all that came from?
A lot of it's to do with contact time, isn't it?
Yeah. So 10 times turnover is good for algae-based systems, and your 3 to 5 times turnover is good for like deep set, like plenum basis, like deep sand bed systems or miracle mud space systems. As long as you're not like overfeeding and building up the stuff in your tank, in your rock and stuff like that, or you're doing maintenance doses of bacteria and stuff, or like you've got plenty of corals. So if you're spinning the water around in the tank and the particulates are getting consumed by your corals, then you can run a 3 times turnover system, and you're basically going back to very kind of like biological filtration methods rather than the mechanical filtration methods. So the slow turnover in your sump is enabling all your mechanical filtration in there to really cleanse the water before it goes into the system. So both work equally as well. So there's sometimes not a right and wrong between like a slower flowing system like yours on 3 times or a fast 10 times. It depends on the synergy in which way it works with the rest of the system. So it doesn't necessarily mean that, people look at the numbers sometimes and go, well, I want 10 times turnover. Why? Because that's what I've said people have told me to have. But it's not always necessary,
Why is your screen black?
Oh, I haven't got my camera on.
No, it's just black. There's no picture or nothing. So I've had to take it off you, just in case people think there's no video.
Yeah, that's okay.
There's a video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's give a shout out to the people that are in it. There's not many people. I've not been on in that long. It's most probably not got any people even watching. So I don't. At the end of the day, people come on. They want to come on. So we've got Kit Kat, Ozzy, David, Hum. I don't even know how to do this. So yeah, Northeast Reefer, Raven. So there's a couple on there. But let's just see if we can get.
You know what you should bring back? You should bring out Test Tuesdays. That's what you should do, Paul.
Yeah, do you know what? I did a test yesterday, and I did a full complete test yesterday.
Should we do it? Should we start bringing back your live streams more regularly?
Yeah, most probably not.
Why?
Look how fit I look. Look how healthy I look through not doing this shit. Look, I'm beefing up. I'm becoming like a big boy.
Are you eating and sleeping properly? Are you?
I'm becoming an healthy kind of guy. I'm even drinking red milk. You know what I mean?
Red milk? What's red milk?
Yeah, the red one, which is like no fat hardly.
Oh, okay, like red top.
Yeah.
I got you. No,
listen, I go to Mexico. I go to Mexico in 80 odd days. I'm gonna have my 6-pack and all that back. I let myself go.
We ought to get Kit Kat to do live streams. Nothing should be good at it.
I think what it is, this is the reason, right? This is the reason I don't do live streams. Right? We have a lot of bitches. And it is. People just calling. And I thought, I'd just keep myself to myself. Listen, I did this before YouTube. All these people started doing YouTube. And I'll do it well after YouTube. You know what I mean? But I hate people being bitchy with each other. I don't like it.
You just do your own thing. Just do what you do,
Yeah. Thing is, I don't care. If people want to call me, they can call me. But as long as they do it to me and not behind my back, I'm all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. But sometimes it's just politics. That's why I'm not a very political person, because you're never going to keep. I always have this saying, right? If you get one person in a room, that person generally can busy themselves and keep themselves happy. You get 2 people in the room, they might chit chat, and I'd say 70-80% of the time they'll get along, and then one will be in a bad mood and they might not. Then as soon as you start adding 3, 4, 5, 10 people to a room, then you get groups and you get like arguments and disagreements, and some people believe this and some people believe that. But I just think at the end of the day, just do your own thing. Like some of the stuff I do in reefing wise, not everybody agrees with, but it works for me. So
I think what it is with me is I reef my way, and if people ask me, I'll tell them the way I do it. No one has to follow anything
no, exactly.
I do. But
That's
what
why
it is,
I try not to get into arguments either and conflict, because I can say something like, if someone's got a problem, I say, well, have you tried doing this? And usually it's not, I mean, you know me, I don't like using chemicals and stuff in a tank. So it's usually a natural method. And I'll say, well, have you tried doing this? And then 20 people in a Facebook group chat will go, no, you don't want to do that. And I go, okay, I don't care. It's not my tank. Like, I've just offered some advice. If you don't want to take it, don't take it. It's not going to hurt me. You're not taking my advice.
yeah, exactly.
If it works for you, then do what works for you. If somebody says, try this, and then you say, why? And they give you a really good explanation as to why they're suggesting something, and it makes sense to you, then and you think, well, is it going to harm anything? What they're saying shouldn't harm anything, but it makes sense that it could benefit. Then try it, because there's another thing as well with the reefing community is people say my tank's looking really good, but what does that actually mean? Because it might be that they've never seen their tank look as good as it does now. But then you could look at their tank and say, well, I think it could be a bit better. Those colors could be a bit stronger. That growth could be a bit stronger in growth. It's flaky growth rather than that good solid growth. But they don't know that because it's the best that they've seen that tank. And unless they've been able to compare their tank to lots of other people that have got, really good, strong tanks, they may not know that it can be better than it is,
Yeah. It's like if anyone asks me a question about my tank, I'll tell them honestly. Anything.
Yeah.
Ask me a question, I'll ask you honestly. Anything. What my nitrates? 50. What my phosphates? 0.1. Am I getting amazing growth? Not amazing. Am I getting good growth? Yeah. Right. And this is how it works. Some of my acros are growing stupidly.
Yeah.
Well, do you know when I swapped this tank over? What was it? 2 days before Christmas Day?
Yeah.
And that acro, I said that the foxface snapped the acro, the big acro, snapped it completely. So I had the base. That base is now 7 to 8 centimeters growth.
Wow.
Right. That's in what 6? That's 6 months. Right. Just a 7. Just a 7. Just short of 7 months.
Yeah.
So
that'll
be 60. That'll be like 16 centimeters in a year. That's what you get in natural growth in the wild.
That's good.
Some of the corals, now that's one. Some of the other one, like one of them, the leader, blitzed it, took it to its base, got rid of all of it. All of them have started growing back. They're 3-4 centimeters tall already. That's in 2 months, 3 months. The leaders are fast growing, so that we can give. Now, some of the other corals, like the deep sea ones, lost the colour. I think it's something to do with the diffusers, because I had the diffusers on, it lost its colour, took them off, it came back, put the diffusers back on, lost its colour again. Took the diffusers off, start again, its colour back.
Yeah.
But other things, it's always growing mad. LPS growing mad, it's always growing mad. Some of the SPS is growing all right. Some's growing shit, some's growing amazing. But it's the way that the system runs. Nothing's dead though. I've not lost anything. You know what I mean?
So the thing is as well is like when you talk about 50 nitrates, can you remember back, God, how long is it? A couple of years ago now, when we first looked at your tank and I said, we're going to reduce your nitrates and phosphates, and then we're going to increase your nitrates and phosphates because we're going to clear out all your rock, and then we're going to reduce them again, and then we're going to increase them again. And you were like, well, why are we increasing it this time? I said, because this time they'll increase because we're nutritionalizing your coral and it's a byproduct of doing that. But your coral's going to get more good than the offset of the elevated nitrates. So as long as what they're getting is good from that, they'll still grow. Where when people talk about nitrates, I always have is it good nitrates or is it bad nitrates? And I know it's coming. People will say, well, nitrate's nitrate, and it is. But is it because you've given positive action food to your coral that has a positive effect on your coral? If it's come from that, or has it come from decay and decomposition where the coral can only get a certain amount of benefit from that? Well, if it's the latter one, then you're not going to see good growth in your coral because it can't utilize like the decomposition as well. It's not getting much nutrition from that. So you're going to have elevated nitrates with no real benefit that comes with it. Whereas if you're feeding decent coral food and certain things that you know will really be beneficial for the coral, and because you're putting that in, it's elevating your nitrates, well, then you're getting a lot of benefit. Or the coral's getting a lot of benefit from that level of, you know, and the byproduct is a level of nitrate. So it might be that, yeah, your nitrate's at 50, but if that's because it's a result of you giving a lot of really good stuff to your corals that it's soaking up and it's eating up and it's generating growth and color, then it doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't.
Well,
as long as it doesn't get to a dangerous level for your fish where you get nitrate oxide poisoning in the blood, then that's slightly different. But
what I do, I dose, right, for my system, or like I said, over the last couple of weeks. So I dose now. I dose plankton, aminos. I feed every because I've got amphias in the system. I feed seaweed. I feed a lot. People think I don't feed a lot, right? Now, if I said to people, the fish I've got, I feed 2 full cubes a day, right? So 2 full cubes a day. All my fish are smaller. I've got my foxface, which is not too big. It's still small for this tank, and I've got a tank which is just a coal tank, which is a medium-sized coal tank. I feed 2 cubes a day. When I put that in, it's like me. I put half in and then another half. I put the first half in, let them polish it all off. Then I put the other half in, polish it all off. If I put that amount of food in, people are going to go, "Wow, you're well overfeeding your fish." Now people go, "But you're only feeding 2 a day." I feed 3 a day. I feed them once a day, 2 cubes at once.
right,
You know what I mean? But I feed it half and half, like so that within a 10-minute period, they'll polish it all off.
yeah.
And I always do my test at night, so I may have to put in that in. I test. If I tested it first thing in the morning or just before I fed it, it most probably be lower.
Yeah.
But I know that I feed a lot.
Yeah.
When I'm cleaning up, my skimmer don't take a lot out because there's not a lot to like my water's always crystal clear. My skimmer don't take a lot out. Like I say, it's going straight through the clarity, so that's taking all the big crap out.
Yeah.
So straight away. So it's just I know that it's me that's causing it, and it's not causing any adverse effects to my system. Could be. That's why the other ones might not be growing the way. But I think it's to do with lighting because I've got a deeper tank, haven't I?
Yeah,
So I've got 2 little lights, and it's a deep tank, really. But my corals are only halfway up the tank. It's got to penetrate all that water before the corals start getting the light. You know what I mean? So that's why I think.
But it's not. Yeah, but when you say a deep tank, it's not a deep tank. It's still shallow.
No, it's not. It's not. I think from what the corals used to have, deep wise, it is.
Yeah.
Because remember, I've not added any corals to this since I've changed it over. I smashed it up. But if you remember, I smashed it up completely and got rid of all the corals nearly.
Yeah.
Do you know, well, I didn't get rid of the corals. I just chopped them all down so there's only bits left. So I could buy stuff that I needed, like pumps and things like that. That's how it all works out. But everything's grown back. So
I think the other thing is, it's like I think it's Mark Callahan, Mr. Saltwater Tank, and he talks about the personality of the tank, right? And that's the other thing. When you get used to your tank with your combinations of corals and fish and everything else, you get to a point of synergy so that you can feel the tank and you can almost instinctively feel when things aren't right, or you do something, you think, oh, that might not be good for my tank, or this will be good for my tank. So you've probably reached a point now where you've had the same sort of system, the same sort of corals and fish in your system, even before this one, in your Red Sea one, that you kind of feel the system, you understand the system and how it's working.
I'm trying to figure out what that is there. What thing is SYT's put in? That TMC, Reef, Photon, is it? Oh, the light.
Reef Photon. I don't know what that is. I'm so out of date with
it's a LED light
with equipment.
So it's a Reef Photon, full spectrum Reef light, built-in Bluetooth. I tell you one thing, SYT, it looks ugly. It looks
it's not a rebranded Z light, is it? Because most of the other lighting is
Do
rebranded.
you know what, Nick? I'd say yeah. Yeah, with a dome on the top of it. Instead of it just being round, it's got like a dome on the top. It looks like the light from Toy Story.
Okay.
Yeah, I personally think it looks ugly. That'd look ugly over a tank, and it looked really cheap, even though it's 239 quid.
If it's it might not be because I haven't looked at products in a while now, but the Z light had a really good light. What was it called now?
Oh shit.
Q Martin or something like that, I think it was called. And that was a really strong light, a really good light. But they're the one that TMC rebranded. They changed the diodes and dubbed it down a little bit. Because I had people asking me for the Z light original version, but I couldn't get them because of the TMC version being in the UK, so I couldn't get the original. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get my head around all this new gear. When I open up the store, I'll have to get some dry goods in, so I'm gonna have to get to grips with what all this new gear is. So
is that a go then, that thing?
Yeah, I've started, mate. I've started clearing out the unit. I've been speaking to suppliers, so yeah, I'm gonna start designing, and I want to make a studio atmosphere in here that I can finally build some of the tanks that I've had floating around in my head, some weird and wacky, wonderful designs that I had for the last few years and haven't made any of them. So yeah, I'm excited. I spoke to some of the suppliers that I've known for years, and they're all saying like, it's about time you did something. We've all been waiting for you to do it, and a lot of them have pledged their support, which I'm really grateful for. So yeah, I think it's going to be exciting. I want people that come here to like, I know everybody says it when they talk about opening a store, but I really want people to come here and have an experience and walk away feeling like that, even if they have to travel to get here a little bit, longer than they normally would, but I hope they leave with that feeling of that the journey was worthwhile, coming here was worthwhile.
Yeah.
And that's what I really want to give back. I want to create a sort of atmosphere where people can arrange to meet up here and don't buy anything, can just sit around and chat reefing.
Do frag swaps. Do frag
swaps. Yeah, honestly, anything. If people want to start a club here, frag swap meets, and just want to come and chill and drink coffee and chat reefing, I'm up for that. I don't want it to feel like it's business. If people want,
you're opening the wrong type of business.
Well, I think, to be honest, I think that the people purchasing stuff, I think, will come with that. So I don't worry about the business side, because I think if people come here to enjoy themselves and be here, they'll spend money here anyway. So I don't have to focus on that so much,
Yeah.
That's what I think. I want to create a place where people are happy to be here, and if they want to, because I'm centrally located in Doncaster, I'm just off the M18. So we've got M1, M62, M8, M180, A1. It's at the hub of all of that motorway network, main road network. So people could arrange, from people from different areas who might be only 40 minutes or 50 minutes away, but it's easy to meet here. It's easy to get to. So I'm more than happy if someone says, hey, there's going to be about 8 or 10 of us getting together at your place, and we just want to meet up and chat. Be like, yeah, well, there'll be seating and stuff here, and I'll grab some sandwiches or whatever for them, and they can just come and hang out and eat. It'd be interesting to see people. That's what I'm interested in, is meeting new people.
Yeah, I don't want to talk. I want to talk about something.
What do you want to talk about, Paul?
I want to talk about this. Right.
About what?
This is not sponsored by anybody, people. Right. So this video is not sponsored by anyone. I have sponsors on my YouTube, on my Facebook. I'm not sponsored by anyone on YouTube, so I don't give two craps about anyone on YouTube, right? Except Senai, because Senai's my best mate and I love him. All right. Anyway, Anyway, if you're not going to go to Senai, go and buy Senai. Anyway, right, no, but other than that, it's not sponsored by anyone, it's not sponsored by Senai or anything. So you've got two of these, right? They've got different colour lenses, but they come with all the same colour lenses, right? Which one would you buy? Bearing
What
in
are you
mind,
using it for?
hang on, these are coral lenses. So they're exactly the same. All it is, they're branded differently, right? So basically, they're from the exact same place. They're exactly the same. Every mark and letter pattern on them.
Right.
One's £5 cheaper than the other one,
Right. Okay.
right? So what I'm telling people, stop going out buying branded stuff when you've got other brands are cheaper. Always price things up. That's me.
Oh, so you got Mantis and you got D&D, and it's the same product.
Exactly the same box, same lenses, same everything. One's £5 cheaper than the other one.
Wow.
D&D is £5 more expensive because D&D is a bigger brand than Mantis. There you go. But I'm not saying go out and buy Mantis. If you want to go and buy D&D, go and buy D&D. Because D&D
What are they for? What do they
awesome.
do?
D&D do awesome stuff. Can't fault D&D. Do awesome stuff.
What do they clip onto?
They clip onto your phone, or if you want to put you can put it on there, so you can like put that towards the tank, and then you get the orange tint, so it pops the corals.
Ah, I got you. So it's like a phone accessory for you to.
Yeah, it's an accessory. And like I said, the lens come off. It gives you three. They give you three different color lenses. So you get the orange, the yellow. There's another one, and there's a like a macro lens that you get on one of them now.
Yeah.
So you get a few.
That's sweet.
But it's not just these. It's many, many, many things that you can get that are branded that you don't need to get branded with. Price up everything. Everything. Because I'm sick to death of these companies coming out selling expensive shit when you can buy the same stuff for half the price, and it winds me up. So if there's anything that you want and you want it cheaper, give me a shout, because I tell you what, you can buy it cheaper. I started doing it myself, Nick. I'm sick to death of buying expensive aminos when the other stuff's exactly the same stuff. Expensive iodines, expensive this, expensive that. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to try all the other. I've been trying all the other stuff and it works just as good, if not better.
Yeah.
I can smell weed. My window's open. I live facing apart. And it's really, really hot. Oh, that's why I keep wiping my head. Right, let's have a look. Looks great on the tank, and the app's great. SYT, you do a video because you might be the first person who does a video on it. It might be a really good light. I don't know. TMC do some really, really shit stuff, but they also do some really, really good stuff. Right, I've got the ATO, the dual optical ATO, and I think it's amazing. You know what I mean? Really good. It's worked every time, never had a fault with it. And that's about 12 months old, it's amazing. So, like I said, some stuff's shit, some stuff's good. Too many YouTube channels telling
I know this light. Yeah, I think it's the same one anyway. I saw this light before, but I think the company that actually makes it. I think it looks very similar to another light by a different company. I actually looked at these and contacted the company because I like the format of them, that like coconut shell look.
I don't like that. It just looks like a cheap light.
I'll be honest. I was talking to someone today about light brackets, and I don't think the light bracket does it justice. I'll be honest.
Well, look how fucking ugly the Ecotech light bracket is.
Shut up.
Do you like that, Nick?
I like it. To be fair, I only did the initial design for that. I didn't do the final design for it. But they developed it. I thought it was quite a decent looking light to be fair, bracket. To be fair,
no, it is actually pretty shit. The reason I'm
saying
shit. No, I think it's not. It's not like the thing. I think the material they made it with shit.
Well, originally it was going to be made out of acrylic. That was the brief I got. Was they wanted something made out of acrylic?
Too heavy. So, it's too heavy. Yeah, like when it overlays exactly. And you got the weight on top. The acrylic. Yeah. I've got this is metal and plastic, and it's cracking, Nick. I need two new brackets already.
Yeah, well, the original design I did was for it to be made out of acrylic, which is why I designed it that way. But you can if I put pictures of my initial design compared to the actual product, you'll see the similarities between them. And that rotating feature is one that I put on my design as well, so you can twist your light. So if you get a new frag, you can acclimatize your frag by twisting the radian away without changing the spectrum for the rest of the coral. That was the idea behind it.
Tell you what,
I'm glad they kept that.
What I have got, what I never told people about, I've actually got a Royal Exclusive auto top-up unit now.
Oh, nice. Royal Exclusive is a good product. It's a nice
Very
product.
expensive, isn't it? This is compliments of Mr. Dean Woods. He bought me this. Look at that.
Oh, that's nice.
Royal
When are you looked at getting like something like
Oh,
a
no.
Focus-tronic or like an Aquatronic or anything like that?
Listen, right? I can't afford that shit. I'm a Reef on a budget.
He says with his Royal Exclusive kit and his Aquariums Connections tank and his aluminium frame.
Hey, I'm still a Reef on a budget. The thing is, I think if I was away more than I am, bearing in mind I'm a postman, so I can be in and out of the house pretty much often. If I was away a lot, I think most probably I would invest into it for peace of mind.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I think if someone's got one and they're in the house every single day, just lazy bastards, right? I'm not calling people I've got one, but you are a little bit, right?
Well, they're going for stability, though. That's the thing. They're
but the thing is, you can Nick,
zooming in
Nick,
on the numbers and
people have done it for 30 years without one.
keeping it constant.
Personally,
Yeah, but have they done it? But have they done it well without one, or are they underdosed and overdosed?
Well, this is the thing, right? Up to you. No one's had one long enough to see if it has made any difference. So
Yeah,
let's give them 2 years, and then we'll see the tanks after
natural
2.
occurrences. But I'll be honest. I like the idea of the Aquatronics and the Dosatronics and stuff because it kind of calibrates your system for you.
Yeah.
And that is difficult to keep on top of for a lot of people. So I would rather see somebody buy that kit and have that worry taken away so they can enjoy their tank more, which is weird because I said the same thing about Triton.
I disagree.
Triton
I enjoy my tank more. I enjoy my tank more when I'm hands-on. I'm not saying hands-on. I'm not saying sticking my hands in the tank and things like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm saying hands-on. Hang on. I do my tests. I do my tests. I'm thinking, oh, it's dropped 0.1 on the alkalinity. You know what I mean? So I won't do it that day. I'll wait till the day after, and I'll do it again. If it's still down 0.5. I'm thinking, well, that's all right. I could turn up a little bit, but it's stable. But then if I do it the week after and it's dropped another 0.5, I put it up a mil. You know what I mean? And that's you tweaking your tank and doing it. I like that. No, if I didn't do anything except clean it, I get bored quick. Every single month, I'm like, right, that's it. I'm selling up, right? But and I'm always looking for stuff to buy. You've got Woody. Look at Woody. He's the same. You're always trying to buy something because you want that little. I don't care if it costs £2 off Amazon. I'm looking forward to something coming through the post for this tank. You know what I mean? It's stupid little things like that. I just want to answer this question quickly. Do I soak bio pellets on directions? It does not say. What I'd do is soak them in the bacteria. So if you can get some colony, something like that, or what's the other one? Outbreak.
Fritz.
Yeah, the Fritz stuff. Yeah, you get the Fritz stuff. Fritz 460, Dr. Tim's, any of that stuff. Soak them in that. I'd soak them in that. I've got a bottle of bacteria somewhere. I did have, but knowing me, I would have just poured it in my tank because I'm stupid.
See, the thing is, Paul, when Triton was coming over, Vince was looking at bringing it over, like seriously considering bringing it over.
Yeah.
He rang people. I was one of the people that he rang up, and he rang various of people up, and he just said, "Look, Nick, let me tell you about this product, and then tell me what you think." So he told me about Triton, and he said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Well, it's like a double-edged sword. One side, I think it's fantastic for new hobbyists and hobbyists that are just getting to that level of competence where by using Triton, it takes a lot of the worry away. because it's dosing, and if you get salinity and alkalinity, then everything else pretty much falls in line. Especially if you think about the type of tanks that they're going to have. You know, a mixed reef, softies, LPS, a few SPS. So on a general sort of smallish 4-foot tank running Triton, mixed reef, just the 3 or 4 bottles it was then would be okay. And this is before they launched all the little bottles. But then I said to him, but on the other hand, the old school hobbyists may not like it as much, because exactly what you've just said, for them, the hobby is all about the tweaking and the laboratory and the filter room and having all these, all these different things going off, and the secret sauces and mixtures of stuff they used to put into their tank that they'd, tinkered with over years to perfect this solution that they used to put in the tank, and would never tell people what was in it. So for those people, it kind of takes that part, and for them, that is the hobby. Exactly what you've just said. You like the tinkering side, but just bear in mind, like you said, you're a postman, that you, like me, is I'm a firefighter full time, so I have the same. I work 2 days, 2 nights, and 4 off, so I have a lot of time. But then, if you imagine having 3 young children between the ages of 2 and 6, and a 9 to 5 job, and all that going on, then all of a sudden it's like, and you want to be in the hobby, then stuff like the Alkatronic, Dosatronic, Triton, and all that, it's a godsend then, because you only have time to maybe clean and feed the fish and watch them for an hour. So I would say it's horses for courses, but I do agree with you, they're not essentials. And for some people, they get out of the hobby different things. Some people don't want to do anything except see coral grow and watch fish swim. That's their hobby. That's what they want to do out of it.
This might be a dig.
They want to.
Yeah, this might be a dig at a few people, but the only people that I know that have got them at the minute are the people that have got them for nothing.
What's that? The
Alkatronics. Like the Alkatronics. There's some. No, don't get me wrong. There's some people I know that have bought them, but most of the people I've got them have got them for nothing. Do you know what I mean? So they're going on, oh, yeah, I've got one of these, but I know that they're got them for nothing. Do you know what I mean? And it's one of these things where they do it. Yeah, a lot of people, I said, the people that have got them for nothing, it's fair enough, right? Yeah. Some people have got them, that I know that people have bought them, and the people have gone for nothing. It's when people get them for nothing, and they think, oh, like they're good at doing what they do and all that. It winds me up. I don't want one. So if anyone wants to give me one, I do not want one. I don't want one. If I give you one, I don't want one.
Yeah, it doesn't suit your.
It doesn't suit me, and I've got nowhere to put it. So
you are a hobbyist. That's the thing. But you got to remember the other thing as well, Paul. I don't think it's fair to say, like, out of the people that have got them, a lot of them got them free, because the thing is, you got to remember that there's a lot of what I'd call anonymous reefers out there, where if you think about the reefers that, like, people like myself and Vince and Paul and other installation and tank system people meet, a lot of my clients don't go on social media at all, but they have them and they've paid for them. So there's a chunk of the hobbyists that you don't even know are there, because they're not the sort of people that
hey Nick, I know so many people that have never even been on YouTube that are reefers.
Yeah, exactly. So they might have Alkatronics and they might have bought them, but you wouldn't know that because you don't see them visibly,
I say, I think YouTube's. I think it's good to have a chat. Do you know, jump on and have a chat. Like everyone jumps on and has a chat.
Yeah.
But I think the video side of it is there's too much contradictions on people, and I think it's easier if people want to contact me. I'll have a chat with them. I'll always have a chat with them. Trust me, they might not get a lot out of me. Sometimes it's just yes, no, 3 bags full and things like that. You know what I mean? But by all means, I'll talk to people. I'll help them. But I think it's easier doing it that way than me sticking a video out now, because like I say, if I put something out, someone else contradicts what it is, and it's just, to me, it's just, I think it's unfair sometimes on people. They're trying to find the right thing, and there's just so many things, and then it comes back on you. Well, he said do that. Yeah, it works for me. It might not work for you.
Yeah. Cool.
So what do people think about the all the bans around the thing? Are LFSs still good? Or do you reckon there's too many garage sellers now?
So you're talking to people?
Yeah. Well, everyone. Do you reckon this is the decline of the LFS at the minute? Do you reckon, here's one for you. Do you reckon reefers like me, people that are on here, should be helping the LFS by, instead of selling to other hobbyists at the price of the LFS would sell it for, is to sell it to the LFS for a little bit less, just to help the LFS out?
I'll be honest, it's a difficult one with the garage selling, shed selling, and the local fish stores because, and I'm being brutally honest now, I think the scope to have a store that is different to the stores that we have, and I think that it's difficult because there's part of me that doesn't like the garage sellers and shed sellers when it's hobbyists that console imports of fish, and by that I mean what happens is they buy a box of fish directly imported that lands at an airport, and somebody delivers that box of fish to them, and it doesn't go to a holding station like TMC have, because dealing with those fish is a lot different to dealing with fish that you go to the local fish shop and buy that have
I don't
gone
agree.
through
Any garage
processes.
seller should have fish.
Yeah,
I don't agree with
I mean,
any of them having fish.
because I've been involved with shipping, shipping and distributing fish and coral with Nordic when they were in the UK, based here at my unit. I know there's certain things that need to be done in certain ways, and things like I did have a customer, and he took me to literally to his shed or his I think it was his garage, and said, "Yeah, I've started selling fish and coral, and I consolidate." And I didn't know this till I was delivering his own private system in his living room, and he showed me, and I said, "So do you test for your pH, and you test for this and test for this with the water that the fish come in?" And he's like, "Well, no, I just acclimatize them." And I'm like, "But if you've had a bad shipper and they haven't done, added like ammonia binders and this and this and this, various different things, then those fish can have kidney issues and liver disease and other issues that have been affected by caused by the shipping, the way the fish have been shipped." And even different fish have to be shipped in different ways. So wrasses, for example, you normally ship them so that the bags are on the side, not upright, because they have to have a larger surface area for the gas exchange of the water. So there's certain ways that you're supposed to ship certain fish. They're not all shipped the same way. And even the size of the bags is important, and the amount of water in there, and whether they've been filled with oxygen or just air. And if you had a garage seller who was really up to date on his knowledge of how to handle livestock and all of that and how it should be done, then fair enough. But I think sometimes you can get hobbyists that kind of go, "Oh, I'm going to do this and make some money," and then they start getting into a different level where, like I said, it'd be great if they got the knowledge to do that, but it is another stepping stone,
So what about just a standard reefer like me? So I've got my reef tank here, right?
Yeah.
King of Sol's got his reef tank. JB Aquatics, David Dunn, they've got their reef tanks. They're growing the coral out nice. Do you reckon they should? Not saying they reckon they should. Do you reckon, as to help the LFS out, they should give like the LFS the first option to buy some of the frags? Because you know that LFSs are going to not give them as much as they're going to get if they want to sell them online to people.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, this is
just
where
to
I
help
would
them out,
say,
because there's no corals coming in. Like, you go to LFSs now, there's no SPS, Nick, anywhere. You know what I mean?
but
Or you go online, you can buy it from everyone. But do you not reckon they should help like say, listen, LFS, yeah, I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose. I'm going to get less than selling it to Joe Blogs, but yeah, but I'm going to help these out, and in the future they're going to help me out. Do you know what I
But
mean?
but this is the thing. There's only going to be certain corals you can do that with anyway. It's like if you look at the fish that you can captive breed yourself in your garage. What are you talking? Banggai cardinals and clownfish?
You know, there's no money in them. There's no money in
No,
them.
but that's why though, because that's the fish that everybody does it to, captive breeding themselves. But you go and show me somebody that's captive bred mandarins, dragonettes, or
Yeah, I'm not talking about fish. I'm just talking about coral.
No, but it's the same with coral though. There's only going to be certain corals. Like generally, what corals are you talking about? The generally corals that are fairly readily available aren't too expensive generally, and easy to propagate.
What you talking about? Your hystrixes and
yeah, so your hystrixes, your plating montes, your encrusting montes.
You go to the LFS, all you see. Do you know what? You're not even seeing stags at the minute. You're seeing plating montes, Satorsa, which remember Satorsa used to be like 15 quid a frag for a tiny frag. You can get bigger chunks now for 15, 20 quid.
Yeah.
There's so much of it about where like 6, 7 years ago, it was like rocking our shit to get hold of.
But you know why? You know why that is though. Partly the reason is obviously the bans, but another reason is that I'll now be honest. For too long, the hobby for us in the UK has been too cheap, and you can see with the yellow tangs, people complaining that they used to be able to pick up a yellow tang for £25, and now they're like £70 or whatever they are now. And the problem we had with Nordic in the UK was that the coral was really good quality. The fish were really good quality, but the stores didn't want to buy them because they could get them for cheaper. But the problem for Nordic was that they could sell those same fish and those same coral into Europe for more money without any of the overheads and costs to get them and keep them here. So that's why they closed up and said, well, what are we doing? We're trying to provide good quality fish and coral to the UK. They don't want to pay the money. I can make more money selling it into Europe. The cost of it would be higher to sell it. The money they were charging for it, and there was no overheads involved in doing that, and that's why they came out of my unit and sent flights back to Denmark. And so we're just seeing really a catch up, more than anything. And that, I think it's been triggered by the lack of stuff coming in. And I think to get the variety that you guys want will mean the store's paying more for them.
Because I'm trying to find a nice frag of this at an LFS. Because most of the corals I've got in mind, well, I'm not saying, I'd say 70-80% all came from LFSs.
Yeah.
And I like growing them out and saying, listen, that came from this one, that came from that one. So I've got one, that frog spawn I had, I bought one head of it. I sold about 30, 40 heads of it now. Yeah. The prices have gone from £15 a head to £80 a head because it's Indonesian.
Mm.
But it's like none of that's going out of my tank. That one. Whatever I've got, that's staying in there.
Yeah.
I'm not selling it. But well, I just don't want it because you can't fish with it. David, no way LFSs are charging an arm and a leg for them. But what? Frog spawns are crazy expensive. Frog spawns are expensive. A lot of frog spawn come from Indonesia. The big shipments. But your torches and hammers come from other places, but most of the frog spawns are from Indonesia. More than double the price. If you get the purple tip one, 80 quid a head they go for. That's like gold torch prices.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But the thing is, you've got to remember that the corals and fish available don't automatically come to the UK. Everybody else wants them all over the world too. So the Europeans are used to spending more money for them. So if you were a coral supplier or a fisher, who are you going to supply to? The UK that wants everything cheap or to the Europeans that were now wanting to buy your stuff because their own supplies are drying up. So they need to find more coral from other suppliers they weren't using before.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you get the suppliers that were supplying to the UK now being approached by people in Europe who are saying, well, I'm willing to pay more money if you sell it to me. You know, so hence why it's not even getting over here. So I think it's like, I remember 15 years ago, if not longer, when the internet, you know, came about and stores were saying that the internet will be the death of the local fish store. And it's this day, they say the same thing. But the internet, along with the internet came, online sales and online websites and online stores. But also it brought Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and Twitter. And I do believe that if businesses were able to evolve and utilize all the positives that the internet brought with it, it would outweigh the negatives, you know. And I think the stores themselves, I think, can evolve, but then you're asking a store that's been doing the same thing day in day out for 15 years to suddenly change into being a different type of store and a different type of experience for people. And it might be that it's almost alien because they've never had to think of doing things differently. And this is like you were saying earlier about YouTube making videos. You get people contradicting what you say in the video with their video. Why? Because the amount of evolution that's taken place even within the hobby on how we do things. Some people are old school, some people are new school, some people are a mixture, and some people have different opinions and different methods for different things. So that's why, like I said, if you get 10 reefers in a room, they'll agree on some things and disagree on other things because they've each got their own little spin on things. And it's the same with the stores as well. And the same with hobbyists, because I know for a fact if a well-known store put up a post and said, we go to great lengths to quarantine our fish and do this and do this and do this, all these things we do that a garage seller or a shed seller aren't able to. We buy from people like TMC who have holding vats that medicate, that do this and hold the fish and for at least a week in quarantine and do all this stuff. But that's where I get my fish from, rather than just off a box off a plane direct from the shippers, from the fisheries. And that's why the fish are a little bit more expensive. You'll get a whole load of support being shown, and people will say, well, that's why I'm willing to pay a little bit more for the fish and get them from a local fish store rather than, a garage seller or a shed seller. But at the same rate, I guarantee for every one person that offers their support in doing that, you'll have 2 or 3 people, if not more, that'll say, well, actually, I'd rather say a £5 on the fish and get it from a shed because I know the guy and he's all right. He's my mate. So, would you say that your coral is any worse condition than the coral that you can find in your local fish store? Some cases, I think that your coral is probably better quality than what's in the local fish stores in some cases, because it's been in your tank for how long, rested, growing naturally, and then it's come out of your tank and gone into their tank. Where in a fish store, it's come from the ocean to somebody else, to them, and then to you. So when has it had 8 months of stability like it would have in your tank as it's growing over that time? It hasn't. From when it's been taken out of the ocean, it's hit 4 or 5 different systems. So it's not, I wouldn't say it's probably not in the same sort of state. So there's an argument there. But then what about all the corals that you would struggle to grow and you would struggle even to get? Gold chalices, rainbow chalices. How many of those are around available? How many frags of those are around available? Next to none, right? So the only way you could get a piece of that is more or less through the store. And then to grow that out to a point where you could frag it, if you're able to keep it alive, again, you're going to be waiting a long time for that to grow out. you know, to get to that point. So I think definitely, I think the hobby's changing, and it's been forced to change by the supply side. And I think hobbyists, to some extent, the hobby itself will change. It, you know, the hobbyists themselves will change, and I think to some extent, the stores will change as well. You know, the type of stores and the way the stores deal.
Well, it seems
and the way
like the
stores
stores at the
sell
minute
and
are
stuff.
going more LPS at the minute. There's a lot more of it. Well, I think look at the Australia stuff that comes through. You get your yellow acro, yellowy green acro, and a lot of sort of like LPS.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's coming through. A lot of zoas are coming through, but just the standard zoas. So when you go to LFS, it's the same. They sell the same stuff. Well, that's what I was saying. Do you not think it'll be? People might disagree. They only give you store credit. Do you know? Everyone needs food. Everyone needs bits and bats just to take little bits before you sell it online.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is I think it's like with everything.
Do you reckon some LFSs? It's like the thing is that I can take a frag. Bear in mind, there's 5-6 stores around here.
Yeah.
I could take a frag to one, get a 10. I could take it to another one. They'll give me a 5. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't give you cash. They give you store credit.
Yeah.
I'm saying, I usually do it when I need something. So get some nice bits, take it round, get all your stuff you need.
Yeah, I think to some extent, I mean, you're basically what you are is you're a mini frag farm, right? You've got one small tank that you're growing corals out and you're sustaining every now and again a shop's stock. Well, that's all a frag farm does. And look at the amount of frag farms popping up in the UK.
Yeah.
You know, speaking to Laura Carling at Eco Marines the other day, and she says they don't do fish anymore. They're purely coral now. And she said the majority of the stock is cultured. Now she's like farming it now, you know, or she's her suppliers of farms. So they're not taking it from the wild, if at all. So to some extent, we'll be able to sustain the hobby to some extent. But I do believe the days are gone where we could almost get anything we wanted if it was available. But it's like me, when people have asked me in the past, like, what's your favorite fish? What's your favorite coral? What's the best tank you've ever seen? And I say to them, it's weird because the most colorful fish isn't my favorite fish. The most colorful coral isn't my favorite coral. And the biggest tank I ever saw wasn't my favorite tank. And
Do you know what my favorite fish is?
Well, let me tell you mine. And this is weird, right? Because it's probably the cheapest tank you could ever create. My favorite all-time tank that
I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, was the.
You're going to say the Pulsing Xenia tank, aren't you?
The Pulsing Xenia tank.
I knew you was going to say that.
With 2 pairs of clownfish in it, and it just looked stunning and amazing and glorious and everything else. And I could just sit and watch it, just because of the movement and everything else. And it was the simplest tank, and it was just stunningly beautiful. But it was a cheap to create, simple tank, easy to maintain and everything. But if I couldn't have anything else because nothing else was available and that's all I could have, I'll be honest, I wouldn't be that sad. I'd be happy.
Well, I don't think anyone would. If it comes to that, where you can only get your softies, I think that's the way it'll go. You still got a coral tank. You know what I mean? But it's obviously softies. My best fish is the cold tank.
Yeah, I know you like your cold tank because it's
love my
active
cold
and it works for you, doesn't it?
Oh, it works.
Character.
The fish I've never been one of these that'll set a tank up, go out and just buy fish for the sake of buying fish, right?
Yeah.
Every fish that I've bought, barring the clownfish, right, and the mandarins, right, but every fish in my tank I got for a reason. Everyone. I went out. I wanted to know. I wanted a fish that had nudies. I wanted a fish that had flatworm. I wanted a fish that had pest. I wanted a fish that had the algae off the rocks. You know what I mean? I've got the gourmet that I know that goes around cleaning the bottom of the tank. The one that don't come, is it the ghost? Is it the ghost gourmet? Is that what it's
Yeah.
called?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that one because it doesn't come above the thing. It stays on the bottom and cleans all the sand. The fish I've got for a reason. That's the only
Yeah.
fish I have. Except clowns, because you've got to have clowns in a reef tank. It's just the rule. If you don't, you're not a proper reefer, right? And you've got to have your mandarins for the wife. You know what I mean? Because she always looks in the tank with, "Ooh, where are the mandarins?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That keeps her interested. Because when she can't find one, she'll stare at the tank for half an hour, try to find the other one. You know what I mean? So it keeps her interested in the tank. But other than that, for me, if you've got a huge system, go for it. Do you know what I mean? If you've only got a small system, I really do think the fish that you should have should do a job. Because there's a lot of nice fish that you can get that do jobs.
Do you
Wrasse,
remember that?
I love my wrasse,
That
honestly.
moray, that eel that you had? Was it
Yeah.
snowflake? And you took it out when I said
I'll
about
tell you what,
feeding and stuff.
I had
And
to
you
feed
went,
that
right, that's
fish.
coming out.
I had to feed that fish in half a day. It went from being 3 inches long to being like 2.5 foot long within 6 months.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But my nitrates went.
I mean, that's the thing. If we had reefer hobbyists that were growing coral and were putting it back into the stores, or they were selling it to other hobbyists, to a certain extent, I don't think that's the biggest problem for local fish stores, to be honest. Because, like, look at America with reefer paloozas and frag meets and frag swaps. There's there's meets and swaps going on all the time. We have none in the UK. I think didn't Kraken do one? So out of the whole UK, we might have one.
I think Cracker's the leader on them at the minute.
Yeah. So Dom's doing them, and if that's the death of local fish stores, why would Dom do them, and why would his store be doing so well still?
Yeah.
So I don't think that it's easy to vilify certain things and blame certain things. And recently I did some consultation, and I said this to the company, was that, say you're in a position where you're going under, are you going to blame everything else? Are you going to blame, oh, it's because of them, it was because of this, it was because of that? Or are you going to try and take some kind of control over it and evolve and change so that whatever you're trying to blame it on actually doesn't make an impact on you? And that's, I think, is going to be the hardest thing for people, for stores, is to think of ways that they can evolve as the hobby evolves, as the situation evolves. But I don't think stores have to go under. Whether or not people swap frags or breed bangais and clowns or whatever they do, I don't think they have to go under because of it. And look at Dom. Dom's found a way to embrace it. So he's probably more popular because he's done that. And he's probably getting more customers because he's done that, not less. And I would argue that if it negatively affected him, Dom's a clever guy. I don't think he would do it again.
I think he's the only shop. Yeah, he's the only shop that I know that stocks everything. Except,
and he's built up to that as well. He's built up and built up and built up.
That's a brick and mortar store that you can walk into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not saying like online stores. Obviously, they sell everything. But I'm saying like brick and mortar. He sells everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in a way, if he's got contracts where he gets and he pays when he's sold the stock, that could be that one. Smaller stores can't do that because they've got to buy it up front. Do you know what I mean?
Dom will have the same accounts as everybody else.
Well, there you go. So he buys little bits of stuff in.
Yeah.
But the way he does it, he'll say, "Yeah, I can get you this. It'll be there tomorrow." You know what I mean? So he's got that, and I think other stores need to like do that and all. They need to get the accounts of all these people. You should be able to walk in and say, "Can I have an Ecotech pump?" Yep, not a problem. It'll be here tomorrow. If it's not in stock, it'll be here tomorrow. You go into other little stores. They're not doing that. Oh, we ain't got an account with them. Get an account with them. You're losing a lot of money by not doing it.
But
Yeah,
then
I
that
mean,
comes back to the hobby itself, though, isn't it? You say this is how your flow should be, and someone else will say, no, that's not how I do mine. You know, I remember when I started ACS, like I went to all the big companies and said, I'm going to do really nice cabinets. So are you interested in me supplying you? And and a lot of them turned around and said, we've been doing this 15, 20 years. We don't need you. You know, we've
yeah.
been here 15 years. Why would you need you? And I said, because I'm going to change. I'm going to make a change to things. And they laughed at me. And
Tell you what,
then
though, only takes
ignore the
one
companies that
reefer.
copied my products.
Only
You
needs
know?
only needs one reefer, right? For a store to be good and all that, it can take one person for them to upset one person for that store to flop because the social media is so bad these days.
Mm, yeah. I mean, I just think that it's weird because it's like when you get like a forest fire. When you've had the fire and all you see around you is devastation, right? But what happens then is you get rejuvenation, you know, like a phoenix rising from the flame. So when you see a forest fire, all you see is burnt trees and burnt vegetation and everything's black. And then what happens? The ground gets more nourished, and then you get that new growth coming through, and then all of a sudden the earth's more enriched because of it. And then so you get a better, you know, you get a forest grow back. So I just think certain points in the hobby and certain points in the industry, we're going to have those wipeouts, and what will come off the back of it, I think, will be different. And I just think the stores that you're going to see surviving are going to be the ones that, like Dom, you know, really flexible, really innovative. He's embraced technology. You know, Dom does his website stuff, so his website's really good. He's integrated his website into his registry system in a way I can. He explained it to me once, and I was just like, "Wow, how did you even think to do that?" And he said, "Well, it's what I do." So not every shop has even thought about doing that. Never mind try to do it or can't afford to do it or whatever the reason. So Dom has this foresight, and there's not just Dom. I've spoken to frag farmers that were telling me a few years ago that they were expanding because the coral is going to be more difficult to get hold of. And this is before the bans. They could see it coming, and they had the foresight to reinvest into more tanks and more systems, so that when it hit, they would be the people that everybody would be going to because they couldn't get the coral from the other places anymore. And they were telling me that people would laugh at them and say, we'll always be able to, what are you talking about? And he was sort of saying, look, this is going to happen. I can foresee it. So this is what I'm doing. So then when everyone's crying they can't get coral, they'll be coming to me because I've been cultivating it for the last few years to make it available. And he was right, you know? So I think it's like, I always think about Steve Jobs at Apple, where, you know, Apple was on its knees, they got Steve Jobs back and he rebirthed Apple. And look at the stuff they did. They made the first like smartphone. You know, they're still mainstream now. Majority of people got an Apple phone, right? An iPhone. Then he did the iPad. He did the iPod, was revolutionary in that day and age. So you've got one company, one man that changed technology for millions of people. You know, put technology in our hands, and that was one man did that. So our industry is no different. I'm not saying I'm going to be the man. It might be somebody like Dom, or it might be Dom, you know. But sometimes what happens is one thing changes, and then it's a ripple effect. I do believe I created that to some extent with the cabinetry, because it pushed a lot of people, a lot of the suppliers into. If you look at it like with the Red Seas and everything else, it pushed them into a different direction, and that again was a ripple effect. There's certain products out there that I know are emulations of my products, or you know, the same product with a bit of a twist. But if I hadn't have done that product, would anyone else have thought of doing that product? Or would it still be in the old traditional Pelma and upstandard tanks that the other guys said, well, we've been making these for 20 years and we sell loads of them. And I was like, yeah, but what happens if the goalposts move? You know, are you then going to start selling them then? Or are you still going to stick to your guns and say, well, every 50% of our customers now asking us to do something different? Well, it's not what we do. We do this when we've been doing it 20 years. We don't want to change. No, what they did was they changed and they adopted new designs because the customers were asking them for it. And I think it'll go the same way with the stores and the same way with the hobby in general. I think it'll be different provision because of what we can and can't get anymore. But at the same time, I think if we can do things differently, it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, a negative thing. You know, it might. I know this is really weird as well, but I actually want the hobby to be more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, Nick's banned from this channel.
And I know it sounds weird, but the reason I wish the hobby was more expensive was so that people took care of things more and looked into things more and saved up to buy things so that when they got them, they had time to not take things for granted and they would, what's the word? Respect the lives of the fish and the corals and what we have more, you know. And I think in some respects, sometimes things are too cheap. I mean, look at yellow tanks, for example. Why shouldn't a yellow tank be as expensive as a gem tank? Why is a black tank more expensive than a coal tank? You know, why? You know, coral beauties. You know, how much is a coral beauty from your local store? £39?
Not a clue. Don't do fish, Nick.
But a coral beauty, for example, it's not an expensive fish, but it's so beautiful. It's a stunning fish. Yeah, people see it as, it's a bread and butter fish because they're not expensive. So people judge the fish almost by price, you know, and we revere fish by price. So a black tang, okay, what they were going for last time I looked, maybe £700-800. Probably get them a bit cheaper now, but say £600-700. So for me to buy a black tang would be like, oh, I'm gonna have to really look after this fish. It's cost me like £700, you know, and that's how I think it should be in the hobby. And I think people would perhaps learn more and be more knowledgeable because they don't want to lose a £100 fish, a £200 fish. So they're gonna want to make sure they've got the knowledge to keep that. Do you know what I mean? I mean, think about it. If you think of general hobbyists from when they started the hobby till when they've got to a point where they know how to keep fish and they know how to keep coral to a competent level, how many fish and coral have they killed to get to that point? Now, if those fish weren't fish and they were dogs or cats, that would be outrageous, right? That would be completely outrageous. Who would buy a dog and say, oh, we had it like a month and then it wasn't quite right and it died? And then somebody would say, yeah, that's what it's like keeping dogs. It's what did I read? One person put a post and it was like trial and error. That was it. It's trial and error. It's trial and error keeping a dog. So don't worry about it. Just buy another one and you'll learn how to keep it alive. We wouldn't do that with a dog or a cat, would we? Because it'd be seen as cruel. Why didn't you learn how to look after it so you didn't kill it? You know? But with fish, it's like, I couldn't believe it. I read this post and it said, oh yeah, I've lost all my fish. I had 6 fish and I've just started and I did everything people told me to, but they just died. And I don't know why. And somebody else put, yeah, that's the thing with this hobby, it's trial and error. And I just thought, no, it's not. It's learn how to reef and then buy those lives and look after them.
Well, you've got people like Marinette Aquatics. Like I'll name drop. I don't give a shit. Maidenhead Aquatics in Ashton-under-Lyne. The worst shop you can ever go to. They'll sell you a tank and all the stock in the same day. Just to say, yeah, it's fine, but they don't give a shit. And it's absolutely. You go in there, the fish are disgusting, the coral tank's disgusting, horrible.
Yeah.
Hey, is that Nick's voice I can hear? Ryan, it is. Paul, where's all gone? I don't know. I don't know. What's not been told off by his wife?
I mean, that's the thing.
Listen to this. Listen to this, right? Seymour is a massive Liverpool fan. Yeah?
Yeah, he is.
So my missus went to Anfield the other day, the stadium, with a sign saying Oral Seymour loves Manchester United in the stadium. And she took a picture with it in the stadium. Is here, look. Like, took a picture in the stadium saying Oral Seymour loves Manchester United. Yeah, baby. Because he does. Oh, see, hang on. Listen, can you hear that? Screw that, Seymour. Seymour, look, it's doing it. Right? These Ecotech pumps, right? It's on one speed, right? Every now and then, it sounds like it's turned down because it's gargling now. So it's like the speed's turned down a little bit. So it's changing its speed. But when I look on the wattage, every now and then you see a little drop in it, and it goes back up again and goes normal. But it's all set. It's all set. Yeah, Seymour's does it too. It's like it's weird. But can you hear it gargling now?
I'll be honest, I was impressed with the Max Spec dual outlets that I've been installing. I'm really impressed with them.
I think they're absolute shite.
Really?
I do. I've seen the head pressure on them.
Yeah, but it's not about the power with them so
yes,
much.
It is. Shite.
I'm going to set up another office tank. So I was thinking of trying out the new Max Spec skimmer because I quite like the look of that as well. I'll be honest. I think there's some really good gear coming out that I want to try out. So yeah, I think I'll keep my Reef Brights on it, but the other stuff I'm going to change the gear out and try some new gear.
Woody said his doesn't do that because his is still in the box in his cupboard.
Oh, you can send it to me then, Woody.
See, Woody got one.
I get store credit.
Woody got one just to put in his cupboard because everybody knows Woody's got a cupboard that's just full of brand new stuff that's unopened. So he got one and put it in his cupboard. You know why? Because it looks nice in his cupboard.
So the thing I like most about that Max Spec one, though, if I'm right, I can make it variable like the gyres. So I can pulse. I think, yeah, I'm sure we did on.
Why do you want to pulse it?
We can pulse it.
It's a return pump. Why do you want to pulse it?
Because then I don't have to use wave makers.
Yeah, but you can pulse these.
So why are you using wave makers?
These have got a pulse on them.
So why are you using wave makers then if you can pulse your return?
Can pulse it. You're on the Vector, you can pulse them. Yeah, you can.
So what I'd rather do then.
Do you know why I don't want to pulse it? Do you know why you don't want to pulse it?
Pulse it. Why?
Do you know why you don't want to pulse it? Right, now think about it, Nick. Come on, you're a good reader. Why don't you want to pulse it? Yeah, why don't you want to do it?
Because you auto top up?
Exactly. Because it'll go down and up and down. And don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Casey Nano, chatted here.
Way to isolate that, though, I think.
Nick, I'm a single parent on a limited budget. I get your point about it being more expensive. I took over a year ago researching to get the best system I could afford.
Yeah, and to be honest, that's the only thing, because it's difficult when we talk on here because I don't want you to think that I'm cold and I'm carte blanche and I'm applying this to everybody. I'm not. And I do realize that there are people with limited budgets that make very, very good reefers as well. But
I do not have a pot to piss in, people. Don't get me wrong. This tank has got some decent stuff in it, right? And if it wasn't for Woody, if it wasn't for Nick, and it wasn't for Seymour, right, I'd have a really shit system. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
Honestly, like I've got the people I've got over. I've got Nick, Cruz, Woody, Seymour, right? Them four people. Everything I've got is virtually from them. Do you know what I mean?
but this is what I'm talking about, though, Paul. Like, for example, and I'm not saying KC is in the same situation because everyone's got different situations, and I appreciate that. But it's like with you, yeah, you've got a nice system that would cost a lot of money, if you purchased everything and everything else. But the reason, like, I gifted to you, and I guess Woody gifted to you, and other people have gifted to you, is because you've presented us with added value. So this is what I'm talking about with. I mean, I'll be proven right or wrong because I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and I'm opening a store up when others are struggling and closing. And there is some stores doing well. My friend's got a store which is busier than last year, so he's doing really well. But I think there can be different ways of doing it. And what you did was you created entertainment for us. So for me, yeah, you didn't pay me cash for the tank and other bits and stuff, but you paid me in entertainment. So for me, it's like it's a trade-off. That's what cash came from. It's bartering from the old days when it was 2 chickens for half a pig. So for me, that's how I see it. And I think it's the same way with stores. With my store, what I envision happening, and again, I'll be proved right or wrong, is that if I create an environment where people want to come here, then I'll be okay for money because they'll automatically want me to do well because they love coming here. So they're going to spend money with me to enable me to keep it going. And I hope that's the case. And I think even as hobbyists like KC, I understand, okay, on a limited budget, then I don't know how feasible this is, I'll be honest. But then I would look at even, equipment instead of buying new, buy second hand,
Right.
good second hand.
Yeah, but this is what we do. So this KC, this is what we do. So you've got Woody, Seymour, me. Right. There's three of us. There's three reefers. Woody's been doing it the longest. Like Woody has got decent stock. He's got a cupboard full of decent stuff. Seymour is in America. He's got loads of decent stuff. And then you've got me. I've got some stuff, a lot of shit stuff, but stuff that people like. So what we do, if Seymour wants something that I've got, and Woody wants something that Seymour's got, we'll do a three-way trade. Do you know what I mean? So we've shipped stuff to America. He shipped stuff here. We've met up in New York. We've met up in Las Vegas. We've traded stuff. I've been to Woody's, give him stuff. Like only was it yesterday? Like what sent Woody something. Do you know what I mean? Woody sent stuff up here to me. We trade between us. If someone's got something that you've got, just see if people want to trade the stuff. You don't have to buy stuff. Just get used to the people in the chat. Like if you get something, go on the chat. See, just say, has anyone got this? Someone will have it. Just say, listen, I've got this. I've got this in my cupboard. I've got this under the tank. I'm not using it. Do you want this in trade? Most of the time, people will trade it, even if they're not going to use it. If it's worth the same value, they'll trade it. So you get the best of something. They've still got their value, and it works good, and it works really, really well. We're trading all the time.
Yeah,
all the time.
I think that's what I was talking about with like how things will evolve because I think we'll be all given new challenges, and it's how we deal with those challenges. And I know budget and money is a challenge. I've been scraping in my lifetime. I've been at the bottom of the barrel more than once. Scraping that barrel more than once, and it's not. I know it from personal experience. It's not easy at all. But at the same time, I think that's the thing. You kind of have to dig deep and use your imagination and think. If I want to be in this hobby and I want to buy stuff or be able to get stuff, how can I do it if I haven't physically got the money? Do I join a reef club and meet up with like-minded people? And like you said, we exchange stuff. It might be that people have got spare kit, and then in return, at some point, you grow out a coral and you give them frags back. But I think with this hobby, it's a very strange industry as well as a hobby, because the industry is made up of hobbyists. And I think it's the relationships, like you just said about you, Seymour, and Dean and myself. It's relationships. You build good, strong relationships, things kind of fall into place. And I think sometimes it's a case of that as well. And like I said, the biggest tank I've ever seen isn't my favorite tank. You know, a small, simple tank is probably one of my favorites. I know I could set up a small tank for saltwater, and it might only have a few softies in it, a couple of shrimps in it, and maybe a couple of small fish in it. But I would get as much enjoyment out of that tank as I would a 10-footer, honestly. And it doesn't, even though, like I'm saying, I think livestock and things should be more expensive to make them more precious in people's eyes. You're still going to be able to get stuff, like you say, like, you know, Pulsing Xenia, people throw it away, you know. But for me, I love Pulsing Xenia. It's just a weird thing. You know, I love it. So if I had a small glass tank, I could pick up for £10, or even one that somebody was throwing away. You know, that's my tank. You know, if I just didn't have
Nick's gone. Nick's gone quiet. Nick, if you can hear me, your mic's been turned off. I've not done it. You've done it.
Got like a small glass box, and all you could get in there is a little bit of sand, a little bit of rock, and a bit of Pulsing Xenia, and maybe, I don't know, a softie of some sort, and a couple of shrimp, and a crab, and a starfish, and not a starfish, we'll put that in there.
Do you know what I did?
You know what I mean, like just something really small.
Do you know what I did to start getting more expensive stuff? To get more expensive stuff, I started with the cheapest of cheap of everything. I had a full tank. I had a canister filter, and then I started getting corals, and then the corals grew, and I actually sold the corals that I had in my tank for a lot more than I paid for them, even if it was frags of them. And then with that, I bought a better pump. Do you know what I mean? And then it went on and on and on, and then I sold all the old tank with everything in it, and I bought a brand new tank with a sump. Do you know what I mean? I kept all the rock, just all the corals and all that, sold all of it, sold the light, sold everything.
Yeah.
And that's how I always did it. And from tank to tank to tank, that's what I've done. I sold a lot of the stuff. When this tank come, I sold a lot of the corals in it to get new pumps and that, you know, for inside of it. And that's how it should go. The hobby should pay for itself in the long run. It's just the initial investment where you go, it's expensive. But you got to remember, when people started this hobby, they knew it was going to be expensive from the start. So start cheap.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. The start of the hobby doesn't have to be expensive, because you're talking, like, you know, a lot of people talk about, you know, 3 foot, 4 foot sump tanks with skimmers, reactors, LEDs, and all that as being the start of the hobby. You know, you can start getting in this reef hobby with literally like Casey was saying, like a 7 or a 10-gallon tank. You just glass. That you can pick up, you know, I guess if you're talking gallons, you might be in America, so you could get that from PetSmart or somewhere like that for not a lot of money at all. And then you can stick a freshwater external filter on that, you know, with the little pickup tube, and the spins around, and then the waterfall comes back into the water. But then pick the livestock that's going to be suitable for that type of system. And then you can maintain it just through water changes. I mean, a small 7-gallon, 10-gallon system, a bucket of salt, is going to last forever. You know, in that sort of a system, it's going to last a long time. So I think a 3 foot, 4 foot tank with a sump is actually an expensive way to get in this hobby. And to get into the hobby as an introduction, I wouldn't say that's an introductory system. You know, that's like a more sort of like a competent level system. Introductory level, I would say you could start with like I say, a 7-gallon system with a external filter and a small heater if your climate's like in the UK, and start from there. And that you can do for less than, I would say, for less than probably $60, $50, $60. And then just be really clever about your livestock. You know, pick up stuff that people are giving away, just to get you going. You know, and then that you're in the hobby then. You know,
if you go onto these sites, if you go onto these Facebook sites, there's always people saying like, there's people that give stuff away.
Hey, let me get this phone call, Paul. I'll come back in a minute.
All right. Yeah, there's people that give stuff away, especially when it comes to like softies and that. There's a lot of corals that people just give away. But if you ask, has anyone got any Xenia going? You'll pick over £2 or £3 ago. So in the chat, Rookie, Ozzy, Ailey, Blinky, you're all active. How are you all doing? Casey Nano, hello. David, you still there? Hello. So let's just have a look down here. I hope you're all doing well. I'm actually pumping out with sweat. So I hope you're all doing well. I'm all right. I just can't really stand YouTube anymore, to tell you the truth. Oh, I miss yous. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like saying that I miss all yous. There's no, I don't get an oomph for it anymore. Don't get me wrong. I love chatting. I could chat all day. I chat to my besties. You know who you are. But I prefer just to jump on the phone and have a chat. Like if people need a chat, as long as you're not on for hours, I'm all right with having a chat. Or throw me a message on like the Facebook group. You're backtracking, Nick. Nick's gone ages ago. I'm glad to see your happy face. Look, he's smiling. Cold. How cold is it over there? I thought you were having a nice, still nice over there. But yeah, it's you. No, not Alexa. Don't do Alexa. Okay, Google. What's the humidity? 85%. So it's sticky. What time is it here? It's 9:40. Let's just get these messages 1 second, people. Yep. Has been declined. It's muggy. Definitely muggy. Definitely sweaty. Oh, my lights have gone out now. Nice sleepy fish. The microbubbling is working great. My pH 8.1 in the morning. Oh, good. 6 degrees. Bit cold that. I'm freezing. 20 to 30. 6 degrees cold, isn't it? You want to get over England? South Australia, it's too cold. Right, people. I might call it a night. I'm glad people came on. We've got like, what, 17 people watching. No one's asking me any questions. I'm talking to myself. I get bored quick. Unless people ask me questions, I'll answer questions. But who wants to see more of me? If anyone wants to see more of me, I might do more, but I should do Test Tuesday. But I get bored, so I can't be bothered. Trying to make me do it. I think I've done one test in ages. Aussie, no. I've got, I don't know, no. Eesh, to stay on. Glad I caught me. Look, the sweat is pumping out of my schwadicus. Yeah. Stream when the tank lights are on. See, the thing is, my tank lights come on. My tank lights go off. They're good to. Well, the blue's all day now, so they're only like you only ever see blue really. And by the time I come on, by 6 o'clock, the lights are. You don't see much anyway. Not even through cameras. But what I most will do, I most will do some updates. Like turn the lights on, but I don't really turn. I don't like changing the lights. Or leave them as it is. Just let it do its own little thing. Sweet as a pie. You should do more live streams. The thing is, I, I'll try. When's RXR15 coming, Paul? Ask Seymour. I still need to sort a deal out with Seymour. Like I said, I've got to sort Chris out, which I know how I'm doing Chris's, so that deal will be sorted. But I need to sort a deal out with Seymour. My lights are off at 12 a.m. I won't even have them on at night. One, if I'm watching TV and the lights are behind me, it'll do me tits in. So I prefer to have a like dark room if I'm watching TV. And prevents me algae. Is it the mount or next? Woody, how do you mean the mount or next? Is it the mount or next? What's that? Don't know what that means. It's nice weather, people. Enjoying a bit of summer. We get live streams, see more active during winter. Yeah, yeah. You're most probably right. But when people like now, no one wants to see people sweating and wiping their face all the time. Ah, Dr. Welsh is back. Hello, Paul. How are you, bud? What's hello? Are you okay? Hope you're well. Anyway, everyone on here, how are your systems doing? Are your systems doing well? I've not even asked people. I hope they're all doing well. See, what I've got to do now is wait 20 seconds till it catches up so I can read them. Yeah, like I say, I hope your systems are doing well. So I need to get some more pumps and that. I need to get a nice flow in my system. So I'm thinking, I wonder if I get a return pump in the middle and do a three, like tee it off so it just goes over and like pumps into the bottom. I don't know. I'll think of something. I'll speak to my besties and they'll tell me the best way to do it. I'm still in shock about the hobby being too cheap and should be more expensive. The thing is, there, David, I don't agree with it being. I think it's too expensive as it is. I think things should go cheaper, but I think the way people see it, I'm not saying Nick. I think other people, the way they see it, people who have got a lot of money, think it'll get the people that are not doing the hobby right out. I know it's stupid. I think it's perfectly fine. No, I've got to find what Woody said before. So it's changed it to mouth. It's the mouth or next. You mean this month or next? I think August, he said. How many colours of Coraline algae are there? Mine is doing great. 1 year. Casey, there's loads of colours. You've got dark purple, light purple, green, white. But that white is when it's dying, or it can come back again. So, but there's all various shades. I think it starts green and then goes. I know Rookie Reef are selling about his $20 scholars where we pay like 200 quid. I think scholars are like 100 quid up, like that, aren't they? Depending on colour. All the coral island fish are fat. That's what I want to see. Right, peeps. I'm gonna call it a night. I'm glad that you all came. Glad that you all came. That was not English. Sorry. I'm glad that you was all here and you all came to visit me. I will. Sorry, I'm reading the chat. I heard Riley's are bad for cold spots. Now you've got me there because I haven't had a clue what you're on about. Hot spots, but I don't know what are cold spots. I think what it is, Kate, when you said the hobby should get cheaper, you got to remember, right? When they do a light, right, the lights are usually made in like America or they're made in China, this, that, and the other. But you've got to get all the technology that's going into building them and this, that, and the other. And they can't sell them too cheap because you don't want to devalue a product by selling them cheap. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, you might as well, it'll just be like a cheap black box. Everyone's going to go, well, just buy a black box. And I think it's the technology that goes into it is more expensive. One second. Right. Is it safe to pump ozone in main display? It is, but you need a meter. Is it an ORP meter? Yeah. But I think if you're doing it and you're not doing it at stupid levels and like it's really low, it's different. But I won't use ozone, to tell you the truth. Other people do, but I wouldn't do it. You're supposed to get crystal clear water with it though, but I've never used it, so I can't even tell you. I just know in high amounts it's dangerous. Uh, Gotta love bargain rookie. Yeah, you're right. Once again, like, yeah. Right, people. I'm going. I hope to see you all again soon. Most probably in 6 months' time. Uh, I'm glad to meet you all again. By the way, I'm Paul Williams, aka Reef Community Worldwide. If you've not been on here before, welcome, and I'll hopefully see you all again soon. So I'll catch you all soon. Is that a good way to say goodbye? I don't know. Right, there's more chat here. Got to do this. I have a pink and white, gold and green, purple in my system. Right, anyway, right, I'm going. Right, I'll catch you all soon. See you all later. Bye bye. See you, Ailey. See you, David. See you, Danny. See you, Casey. See you, Rocky. Ozzy. See you all later. Catch you all soon. Bye bye.